Russia's President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday about the prospects of a ceasefire in Ukraine. Speaking to reporters on Air Force One, the US President said that a lot of work's been done over the weekend and that talks to end the war with Ukraine have included how to divide land and power plants. Well, Olena Prokopenko is a senior fellow at the German Marshall Fund and the co-chair of the Transatlantic Task Force on Ukraine. She joins us from Riga in Latvia. Welcome to BBC News. There's a lot to unpack here. First of all, though, from a Ukrainian perspective, there's been a lot of, understandable, I suppose, mistrust over President Putin's real kind of commitment to any sort of ceasefire. So when you hear that he's going to be talking to President Trump tomorrow, what optimism do you have, if any, that some deal might be brokered?
Thank you, Virginia. I don't have any optimism regarding the upcoming phone call between President Trump and Putin. We have had enough experience with Russia over the last 11 years since Russia invaded the east of Ukraine and annexed the Crimea, and there's no reason, no signs whatsoever to believe that Russia will accept the ceasefire deal that Ukraine and the U.S. have agreed upon in Riyadh last week. President Putin has already basically rejected the ceasefire offer, setting a number of conditions that are effectively making Ukraine capitulate. So this is not something that looks like the interest in any kind of ceasefire or any kind of durable peace. Therefore, I believe that the West should continue pressure on Russia. There's no hope that any appeasement of the aggressor or any management of escalation will yield any results, because it hasn't in 11 years.
And Olena, there's been some conversations we've heard from the Russian government once again saying that they wouldn't want Ukraine to be a NATO member if any deal was signed. We've heard that before, of course. Do you think that Kyiv is essentially going to have to give up its hopes of becoming part of NATO for any deal to continue?
Well, I believe that that Ukraine's partners in the West should not take Russia's claims and Russia's demands as the basis for how they frame the peace talks and how they frame the ceasefire or security guarantees. Russia wants Ukraine to capitulate. Russia doesn't want Ukraine to exist. If we go by Russia's demands, we will end in Ukraine's capitulation very soon. Therefore, it is critical that the West continues sanctions on Russia, continues pressuring Russia in economic and political ways, isolates Russia in every way possible, and arms Ukraine. And this will eventually bring this war to end.
Olena, just to jump in there for one final question, I think the reality now is quite different, because the West isn't one umbrella anymore. President Trump has a slightly different position on all of this, doesn't he?
He does, but I can see that his position is changing quite rapidly, and I think that he's still trying to navigate his way through these negotiations. Therefore, I do believe that the unity that Europe is demonstrating over the past 2 weeks, and today we will see the results of the Foreign Council in Brussels as well, and it looks promising. And it looks like this week we will have some critical decisions coming from Europe, and this is a strong sign that Europe can make its own demands and can work with Washington in order to put coordinated pressure on Russia. Okay. And Ukraine should be a member of NATO as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us, Olena Prokopenko.
Thank you.